For our latest project, we're going small and building a gift box. Now, what I like about building small projects like boxes is that it allows you to hone in on a specific woodworking skill and technique. And you don't have to spend a lot of time building it or invest a lot of money in the materials. And the result is something that's really eye-catching. And that's definitely the case with the box that appeared in a recent issue of the magazine. What really draws your attention is the Scalloped-Lid panel that you see here. Now, it has an undulating shape and a geometric look that's created with a special router bit. It's a large cove molding bit like you see here. You'll use it over at the router table to create a waved pattern on a solid blank. From there, you'll go to the table saw and cut that blank into thin strips. When you glue those thin strips back together and then alternate their position, that's what gives you this really cool look. Now, because the lid panel is such a focal point, we wanted the rest of the box to not distract from it. So while we did use a contrasting material, in this case Jatoba, we went with a pretty plain and ordinary look. But that doesn't mean it's devoid of skill. Both the frame and the box itself are joined with miters. So we're going to share some tips on cutting miters accurately and then joining the pieces together without using clamps. Now, miter joints aren't all that strong, so we need a way to reinforce them. So both the lid frame and the box itself are reinforced with hardwood splines. You'll add those splines with the help of a jig made from just some scraps of plywood and use it over at the table saw. Now, you'll notice that the lid appears to be floating in the box. There's no visible hardware. To open up the lid, you'll press down at the front to activate a touch latch, and that reveals a pair of finger grips that allow you to open up the lid and see what's inside. For the hinge, we went with a recessed set of pin hinges that are anchored in small holes drilled in both the lid, frame, and in the box sides. At the front, like I mentioned, is a touch latch to support that front edge. Since the lid panel really draws your attention, it's also a way to easily change up the look of the project. So for an alternate lid panel, we went with a different router technique. Instead of being at the router table, we're going to use a handheld router and a couple of ordinary core box bits. You probably have a couple of those already in your collection. And for these, what we're using is a free-form technique. And what it ends up with is a panel that looks like it's hand-carved. What I like about it is that the technique is really forgiving and easy to master. And actually, it takes a short amount of time to create a panel that's distinctive and sure to stand apart for all the right reasons. Now, on the inside of the box, we've lined both the lid and the bottom with adhesive back felt, just to give it a nice finished look. Overall, what I like about this project, and I've said before, is that it gives you the opportunity to try your hand at some techniques, learn something new. But what you'll end up with is a perfect gift project to give to someone they can put their treasures in.